Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Tutum Talk with Cara Nance. Today, oh my goodness, friends. Seriously, hold on to your hats because we have Morgan Barkus with us today. Morgan, hello. How are you?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for being here. Oh, such a joy and pleasure to have you. All right. As everyone knows, we get to share your bio first, and then we're just going to dive right in and see wherever the journey goes. And friends, get ready. It's a journey. I know it is already. So prepare. All right. So Morgan Barkus is a confidence coach for women. She has a master's degree in marriage and family therapy and a background that includes exotic dance, fitness, and medical device sales. She works one-on-one with women who know exactly what they want to do and yet cannot seem to make themselves do it. Leave the relationship, wear the outfit, post the thing, say how they actually feel. Get on the dance floor. Morgan helps women stop waiting to feel ready and start doing the thing anyway. Her energy is infectious. Full stop. Correct. 100%. And women leave her presence thinking one thing: if she can, I can. And my friend, holy cats, every single word 100%, and especially those last little nuggets, I'm like, from personal experience, full vouch, full endorsement with every word. Yes, I agree 100%. So, yeah, my friend. Okay, from that amazing share of you in paragraph form, what else would you like to share with the Tutum Talk audience on like how you got here? What inspired you to really zero in on confidence? Like, why is that so important to you?
I don't love when women apologize and aren't living out loud and being themselves. I just want to shake them and be like, stop saying sorry, or like, just go do the thing, or just, who cares what they say? It's just, I want people to feel free. I guess that's one of my most valued values is freedom. And I love freedom geographically, freedom in finances, freedom in freeing myself from disordered eating and body dysmorphia when I was younger. When things fall away and you realize, oh my God, like life can be this good. And so for me, I guess setting myself free really inspired me to want to set other women free. And I can't even believe, like, even one of my clients, she's 51 years old and still dealing with body image issues. I'm like, how many more decades are we going to deal with this? A friend of mine years ago, she's well into her 40s, still dealing with bulimia. And I just thought, God, you're holding on to this and missing your own life. And thank God she's recovered and she met someone wonderful, because she just like totally set herself free to be open to the present moment and to love and and she wasn't a client, but she was still someone that inspired me, and somewhat of a parallel story where you're just like holding yourself captive. There's women. I have a client too, actually, different circumstances, both people that wanted to express themselves and just felt like, well, I don't want to be the good girl. I don't want to upset people, or I don't want people to think I'm not normal. And I was like, what is normal? Like, what? You be you. We got a short time on this planet. Like, let's fucking go. Like, what are you? Literally, even an Instagram story, people overthink it. And I'm like, it's gone in 24 hours. Like, what are you worried about? Like, who cares? I think people worry so much more about what other people think of them. And no offense, people just don't care that much about you. And you're not going to be like, wow, can you believe? And even the people that are like, can you believe? I don't care. I have, going back to some of my bio, I was a stripper for 13 years, and I have zero shame, zero regret, zero apologies. Because one, it put me through graduate school. Two, I fucking loved it. Three, I was good at it. Four was fun. I don't even know if I already said that, but to me, it was unapologetically, this is what I'm doing. And I will say, I went into it knowing it would follow me for the rest of my life. I'm from a small town in Wisconsin. I was in elementary school. I didn't know what strippers were, but I did know what judgy people were. And I remember this woman who was like, the teacher's aides or whatever, and they'd come in during recess. And there was this woman, and she looked like the Ted Bundy type. She had the long dark hair parted down the middle. And And I remember it was like wintertime or something, and people were gossiping, and I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, she used to be a stripper. And I was like, so? Like, I was young enough to know, like, I didn't know what that was, but I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
But in that moment, then flash forward when I was 26 and deciding, okay, I want to go to graduate school full time. What could I do to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time? Well, I'm not going to be a drug dealer. And so how about I take up stripping,
Right. Yeah.
And so I got a job, and I was like, before I did it though, I thought, okay, two things. One, I'm going to research my ass off. I went to every fucking strip club in Minneapolis, Minnesota, because I was like, I got to see which one I'm going to work at, because I want to at least be at a classy joint if I'm going to do this.
Right.
And second of all, I have to be really solid in who I am, because people are going to find out. I mean, I'm going to tell my family, because I'm not a secret keeper. I'm very close to my mom and dad. I knew I would tell them. And I thought, this is going to follow me for the rest of my life. And am I okay with that? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay with it. And so I feel like, and even now it's part of my story, and people are fascinated by it, because now I'm far removed from it. So people can be like, wow, she's still got her graduate degree. She's still an excellent sister, daughter, auntie. She's successful in her career, and now she's building a business. So try to say something mean to me. Try, So I guess for me, people that worry too much about what other people think, I want to help them realize, or bad relationships. I have one of my clients, we were texting yesterday, and so she started working with me 2 months ago. She was in a bad relationship with a man who was, she admitted it on her podcast, sexually abusive, emotionally abusive, mentally abusive. He was just abusive. And she was like a drug addict, and she couldn't get away from this guy for 3.5 years. He went to talk therapy. She hired 3 months with a dating coach to try to get away from this guy. Less than a month with me, she was away from him. He kind of trickled back for a bit there. And then yesterday, it got completely shut down. And I was like, you are free. You're free now. Isn't that, it was just like, so anyway, I guess for me, it's whatever women know in their heart of hearts, like, I want to do this thing. I want to try this thing. I want to get away from this thing. I want to stop doing this thing. I don't have the confidence yet to let it go or to go after it. And I'm like, let's do it together. Like, I'm a very action oriented person. And so for me, like, even when I was at school to be a therapist, my friend teases me, who is a therapist, a very good therapist. She works with a lot of trauma and couples, and she's very, very good at what she does. She teases me still, because when we were in school, I liked solution focused therapy because of all the theories, because there's a lot of them. I like solution focused because it didn't care that much about what happened in your past. It was more like, yes, I need to know how you got here. I need some background, but then I need to know, what do you want to do? What is working? Because I think a lot of times people feel like they're going to go get help from someone, whether it's a coach or a therapist, and I have to talk about all my past and why it's all connected. And yes, if you want to process your trauma, and it is very important to go to a therapist and do that. If you want someone who's going to be like, look, yes, I do need to know what happened. Now I need to know what is going to work. Like, I had a client I was talking to, and she's like, well, and this isn't working and that's not working, and I don't really like this and that. I'm like, have you ever felt good about it though? Have you ever felt super confident and empowered? She's like, yeah. And I said, well, describe that. What were you wearing? What were you doing? And she did. And I was like, can you recreate that? And she's like, yeah, I can. Okay, then let's do that. So I spend a lot less time in the back and worried about why you are the way you are. And I'm more like, where do you want to go and how can we get you there? So anyway, that's a whole lot of information about what
I love it.
I do. Yeah.
I love it. So Clifton, I have a couple of notes. So Clifton Strengths Wise friends who are familiar with the Clifton Strengths Assessment, when Morgan just said, you said I like doing, yep, I hear activator. And again, that it's right. We use the tool for development, not diagnosis. And here are moments that we are just with our friends. They're like, hey, does that align for you?
The activator?
The activator thing really helps you catalyze or be the catalyst to your action.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's why I think it's a perfect balance for me, because yes, I was drawn to the service industry, literally, like being a dancer. I used to be one of my first jobs when I was still in the end of high school and early college was working at my auntie's restaurant. I mean, I've always liked to help people and be of service.
Mhm.
And so I say that because empathy is one of my Clifton top 5 strengths. Because I
Mhm.
really am. I can sit with people and I love when they cry and I love when they share their deepest, darkest stuff. Because I'm like, yes, I want to be here for you in that. And
Right.
then the active, it's like I'll be with you
Right.
in that moment and I'm going to be empathetic and I want to hear about it. And then I want to help you move forward and out of it. I don't want to just sit in it with you. So to me, the empathy and the activator part of me really like work together in a good way.
Yeah, how those themes collaborate together. Yeah,
Mhm.
and what I'm loving you offer, and we haven't jammed. We've known each other for a while now,
Yeah.
probably like close to a year.
Well, at
In
least,
in
yeah.
orbit, yeah, in orbit. Like, hey, friend anniversary, yay! Um, and so so Gallups' definition of a weakness is anything that gets in the way of success,
Mm,
and oftentimes that is our dominant themes. And empathy is one of my favorite ones to bring into a workshop or a client conversation because it is one of my dominant themes as well. And Gallup's definition is really like the ability to read a room, especially when nobody says a thing. Like, oh no, we're fine. And like you and I are able to be like, you're not fine. And like we will honor your truth. And that's the whole story. So, but where it would become a weakness for me and sounds like not so much for you. So like kuda, like high five on being Jedi on this one and really tuning in to this truth as being able to read the room and sense where things are not going so well, holding space for still a straight, like still the metaphor that I use is like it's the Jedi strength. So you could be either Luke Skywalker with it or Darth Vader. They're both Jedi. It's the same, our dominant themes. It's just depending on how we're using it. And so it sounds like you really stayed in that Luke Skywalker space with your empathy theme versus for me, how I operated until I went and got Gallup certified and they talked about this in the certification. I was like, holy crap. Like that's what I've been doing this whole time is that I'm able to read it. And then I would go and attempt to fix the thing
mm,
without anybody ever asking me. And I was so confused for 41 years why everybody was consistently upset with me when all I was doing was trying to help, but
okay.
nobody ever asked for my assistance. So I love that you're,
Yeah, but
whether you know it or not, like,
that has a lot to do with going to school to be a therapist as well, because we are literally trained to
right.
not fix for people.
But growing up, though, how about like did that play in for you growing up? It sounds like it wasn't really a thing
No,
for
yeah,
you
you're right. I
right?
just
Like
kinda
you,
naturally let people talk. I didn't necessarily, try to fix.
it's a
You're right.
gift.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's a gift. So, like, yeah, give yourself some credit, my friend. Like, yeah, like, and then, of course, you went and got trained and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
No,
yeah,
you're right. I always
it's
liked,
beautiful.
like, the underdogs. I always wanted to just like, you can tell me anything, and people would tell me, like, "I can tell
Yeah.
you anything, and you don't judge, and you just cheer me on." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not trying to fix you. I can sit with you, though, in this if you want me to. What do you need from me right now? Like, I can help with whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
honestly, I'm grateful that that is something that, whether it's my personal relationships or my coaching relationships, what do you need? Like, what is it? Like, it's like, okay, you're telling me these things. What do you need from me? And do you want me to just listen? Do you want me to strategize with you? Like, what do you need from me?
Right.
Like,
Right.
that would, I
Yeah.
guess, because that would be what I would want. I
Mm-hmm.
want, and maybe but my other strength is harmony. Maybe that's why too, because I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel like you're feeling heard, and at ease and comfortable around me. So maybe that plays into it too. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know where you can go for another Clifton Strengths coaching conversation. I'm here for you. We can unravel all those nuggets.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, so many, speaking of nuggets, so
Yes.
many nuggets. I have like little notes here. I'm like, oh, yes, absolutely. Okay.
What?
So, what you were sharing about like all that beautiful on ramp with what you were sharing, I've got like, oh, so many connection pieces here. And then I want to get into the confidence club.
Sure.
And like just these like connections here. I love how you offering your to me, I heard calculation on your decision to come fully out about being an exotic dancer. Like, if I'm doing this, I'm going 100%. And I felt such connection with you around being a person within the queer community, being an out, openly queer person. But like I don't believe it's a choice. And there's something to be said for being open and out. I could technically stay in the closet. I mean, looking at me like, no, you can't. But, like, come on now. But that is technically a choice. And I just felt such connection with you when you were sharing that. I was like, hey, if I'm doing this, I'm going to be fully me, unapologetically. And I just felt such connection. Like, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it again. That connection of like, as your podcast says, your unapologetic life, like full on, this is me. And then that brings me to like Bob Proctor's teaching of whatever anybody thinks of. Do you know Bob Proctor?
I sure do.
Paradigm shift. Yeah, sometimes I lose people. So I like want to make sure, and listeners out there, if you've been listening to any episodes, I'm sure you've heard me mention Bob Proctor. If you don't know about him, that's okay. When you're not driving or at another time, go ahead and look him up. Yes, right. Writer Paradigm Shift. I love how he teaches whatever anybody thinks of you, good or bad, like positive, negative, whatever. It's none of your business because it's about them.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's hard to be okay with that. I mean,
again, Jedi, it's like ice veins, like it doesn't matter. Like, God, we're still human.
It does bother you. And I have to actively say person's opinion. Because, for instance, my business coach encouraged me to get on the TikTok. I was like, I don't want another social media. She's like, I'm telling you, I know you love the Instagram. That's for nurturing your people. TikTok is for growth. And like, you can just really literally put anything out there. And it's scrolling. You don't even have a feed. People are just finding you because but you have things to say. So go say them on the TikTok. Okay. So I get on there. And then one person comments and they're like, so what? That was the comment. And I thought, fuck you, bitch. What do you mean, so what? If you don't like it, then keep scrolling. Because I guess to me, it's like, if you have a negative comment, why are you even talking at all? Like, I don't, it's not constructive criticism. It's not, so, and then I thought, you know what? This is none of my business. And there's, like you said, nuance around it. Because, like, for instance, I wanted to leave a bad review at a hotel once. And a friend of mine's like, okay, you could do that. And this person might be like really unhappy in her life. And maybe she gets fired from this job because of this review you leave. And then now she's really in a bad pickle, all because she didn't say hi to you the 3 times you've been to this hotel. And I was like, she's got really bad customer service. And he's like, yes, and.
She's not in the right seat. She needs to be in a different seat on the bus. Yes, exactly.
Yes, but then I thought, you know what? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And so I just figure... and it is hard not to care. So, and my business coach did say the people on TikTok are ruthless. She said they say the meanest things to me, like talk about my looks and the sound of my voice. And I thought, wow, like what gives you the right to criticize other people? But I guess for me, it's like, look at it, let it go. Look at it, let it go, because you're right. It really is none of your business. Same with Don Miguel Ruiz. He's the guy who wrote the 4 agreements. And one of the agreements is take nothing personal. Like, you don't know what people are going through, that they are reflecting back to you something that is hurting in them, or they're projecting into the world because of something they're going through. And it's hard not to take it personal. And it really, unless it's someone that you really care about their opinion, and they're giving feedback that you're like, wow, thank you for that feedback. I had a friend once, she gave me some feedback, and I said, I appreciate you giving me that feedback. I can take that in. I'm not going to take it. I don't believe that. For me, that's your perspective and something you think that might be true. I really don't care. If someone is uncomfortable with how I dress, I'm still going to do me. And if they don't like it, that's not my problem. And thank you for the feedback, though. I mean, and I did take it in. We had a conversation.
Truth. Yeah.
But if it was some Joe Blow who was like, commenting, I'd be like,
yeah, because we're talking about like Covey's relationship piggy bank. Like, there are from a stranger, there's no deposits in that relationship piggy bank versus with your friend. Like, oh, okay, well, that was a little bit of a withdrawal, but it sounds like it wasn't such a withdrawal that you were now in the red. you were still in the black, a la
No.
economics in that relationship. You're like, yeah, no, that doesn't apply. And that brings me to my other note here. And you're going to be part of book club, which is amazing. I appreciate your joining the fun. And one of the books that we're diving into is You Are a Badass, and one of the by Jen Sincero. And one of the chapters is I think it's the chapter title is 10,000 Mirrors. And this understanding that what we are thinking about what's around us and what other folks are thinking about us, it's just a mirror reflection of themselves. So it actually has nothing to do with you. This is like whatever. So that person who is like, so what? Like, that's 100% about them. And same if they threw you a lot of love, like, amazing. That is also about them, because they identify, like they feel that connection because of their experience and whatever they're jamming on at that time.
Well, and it could be your mood. I mean, I don't know about you,
they
but
feel
there's
a connection.
times where I'm not in a good mood and I treat someone a way that I left. Like one time I was at a gas station and it was really cold outside, and I really, really don't like winter, and I don't like stopping at the gas station in the winter. I just, there's something about it. I just really, it's like this inconvenience again. And I was super annoyed that I needed the receipt and it didn't come out. And I thought, what? And it wasn't the first time it happened at this particular gas station. So I thought, these motherfuckers never changed the paper and this stuff. And so then I'm cold, angry, it's windy. I walk into this gas station. I'm like, can I get a receipt, please? And he goes, can you get a different attitude, please? And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm in a bad mood right now, and I'm sorry.
Let me reverse, and how's your day? When you have a second.
So really, you don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know how it's going to be received. It's really none of your business. It's not personal. Now, this gentleman, maybe, I don't even know that he took it personal, but he definitely reflected back to me like, you're not yourself right now. I don't know what this version of you is, but it's not cute. And I was like, oh, you're right. And so we've all been in a bad place and done something we shouldn't have said or did. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, we're humans, right? And that then brings me to like very start of our conversation, you sharing about a couple of clients. And it's probably like 2 years ago now when I first heard hurt people. And I hadn't ever, it's fascinating to me that I caught myself realizing that I hadn't ever applied that to ourselves first, even though I very much talk about like when hurt people are like they are hurting so much inside, and it doesn't excuse the behavior. And it helps me have a deeper level of grace and compassion for that behavior. Like, wow, I'm going to send even more love your way. Like, if you came to me about that, like, can I just have a receipt? Like, woo, I'm going to send even more love to that human being because, wow, they're having a tough moment. But I hadn't really put that together with how when we are hurting so much inside, then it can possibly and oftentimes shows as addictions and like
intolerance,
bulimia and whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're intolerance of bad behavior, because if you're a woman who I've had, a client that like, hey, I want a really good relationship, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go through the relationship you have had, and it was like this guy's like this, and he's wishy-washy here, and this guy disappears for 3 days, and that's like, okay, so it was really about, I don't really care about the guys. I care about you. What's going on for you that you're even entertaining people like this in your life? And so it's hurt people, but hurt people also end up tolerating things because they don't believe they deserve more than that. And they're not walking around going, I'm not deserving, I'm not worthy. Because they're like, they hear the positive affirmations and I am worthy and I am deserving of love. And still what's happening in their life is not reflecting that. So it's like, I know you're telling yourself you believe that, and I believe you that you believe that. I was the same way. Because you're like, everybody deserves love just for existing. Like, you don't have to earn it. Like, that's why it's interesting. Do you know Matthew Hussey? I have his book here. It's called Love Life. Love Matthew Hussey.
And I love how it reinforces be on the date that you're on. I was like, oh, that's gold. Whoever my next girlfriend is, whoever you are, I'm going to do my best to
Wait,
do
say more. What
that.
do you mean? What do you more? Say more. What
I
part?
like when I heard him say, be on the date that you're on. It's like, my goodness, how did he know that I was never on the date that I was on? Like on the
Wait, what
second
date were
date,
you on then?
like the 50th, like we're already married on the second date. Yeah, it's
Ah,
like, she's amazing. We're going to get married. Like, you're on the second date, kid. You know, so
yeah,
like, I
get
love
to
you, but
know.
like, time out, slow your roll. And I know you're the solution. Like, I very deeply appreciate where you're coming from with the therapy approach, right? You said solutions
Solution focused, yeah.
focus, right? I am a huge fan of internal family systems, and I think there's like a beautiful blend
Oh,
right there.
absolutely. They all
And like I now better understand, like, oh, I totally get where you parts were these burden parts were like so excited to have an awesome person who also liked us. I'm like, oh, you sweethearts. Okay.
yeah.
So it's a combination of the all, but yeah, no, I really enjoy his work.
I love his work
Um,
too. And one
yeah,
of the
yeah.
things in his book, Love Life, which of course
Mhm,
has a double meaning, it's your love life, but also loving your life so much that you attract people into your life that are adding value to your life rather than you looking for outside validation or to fill holes that are there or your internal parts or whatever. But
mhm,
anyway, he asked the crowd once, like, well, why do you want love? And they're like,
right,
because I deserve it. And he's like, okay, so you deserve it. Maybe why? Like, what makes you deserve love? Well, because we're
uh,
special. And he's like, okay, so you're all special. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, so why are you special? And they're like, And then he was like, who is a dog mom? Who is a mom like
yeah,
a human mom? Do your children deserve love? Are they special? No, you love them unconditionally because they're your kids. They exist. They're yours.
mhm,
They're part of you. And he goes, why would you not love yourself that much? Like, you belong to you. Your only job on this entire planet, yes, even if you're raising a dog or a kid, is to take
mhm,
care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are the only person that you belong to. Like, at the end of the day,
mhm,
you are your own person. You might share
yeah,
a life with someone. You
right,
are your own person and you
right,
love yourself because you exist. So
yeah,
it's a lot of
yeah,
times when women are like, I don't feel deserving or I'm not worthy. You already are. And I know that conceptually you're like, you understand that. But again, if if you're not truly believing that, you are tolerating things in your life that you don't enjoy. You will say, well, it's good enough, or my job's good enough, or my
mhm,
health is good enough, or my relationships are good enough. Really? Like, I have a woman
yeah,
who reached out about my coaching, and she's like, Morgan, I mean, from the outside, I should be happy. My life's together. My finances are pretty okay. I mean, I have a great life. And she's
mhm,
like, I've never been so depressed in my life. She's like, I'm so happy, but I'm also so bored and
right,
depressed in my own life than I am right
right,
now. And I was like,
right.
well, let's work on that
Oh,
because
that's a data point right there. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like,
Yeah,
yes, on the outside you shouldn't, and I've been there, like where you're like, I should be
sure.
happy, like everything's in line, but something
Yeah,
is missing. And
right,
what is that? And figuring out what
right,
that is. And for some people,
yeah,
like I said, they're looking just to fall in love with themselves. Some people are looking for a partner.
mhm,
Okay, great. But again, we need to step back and look on what's going on for you, that you're
mhm,
so happy and full in your own life that you are open and attracting the right kind of relationships rather than looking to plug holes that
right,
wherever there's a leak. So
yeah,
it's really
yeah,
a vast array of reasons why people are looking for more confidence, and they're not necessarily
yeah,
looking. I mean, I call myself a confidence coach, but at the end, 2 in the morning when they're laying awake, it's not, well, I wish I had more confidence. It's more like,
right,
why do I hate my life so much? Why am I
right,
bored? Like, how come
mhm,
I don't travel abroad on solo trips? And
mm,
how come I'm dating this idiot and she's happy? She just got engaged and she seems super happy. Maybe I'm going to be alone forever. Maybe I'm okay
right,
being alone forever. That's what we tell ourselves. So there's a lot of reasons why um, it's not necessarily confidence that they're looking for, but that's what I help them get the confidence to go do the thing that
right.
they want to do.
Yeah, yeah, you're also reminding me, Dr. Schwartz, again, internal family systems dude,
Yeah.
wrote, "You are the one you've been waiting for."
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and I think, in reinforcing that you are your primary partner,
Hmm.
and then whoever you're with is that secondary, source, but you are your primary partner. I was like, "Oh, that's good stuff." So, I have yet to read Love Life, and I I was making notes over here. Like that is going
Good.
on.
Yes.
Yes.
I've
Yeah, I'm
read
gonna
it
check that out.
2 times on audio and then several times because it's like highlighted and it's good reminders about. And even though I'm in a really healthy place, I think I re-listen to it while I walk. I love to. There's this nature trail that I love to walk. It's like 2.3 miles, and
Perfect. Yeah.
and so it's just enough where it's like I can get a half hour listening into an audio book. And recently listened to You Are a Badass. My favorite chapter was Your Brain is Your Bitch. I was like,
Yes.
said that better myself because I will say,
Yeah.
one of the common themes with the women that I work with, and they come
Yeah.
to me body image issues,
Mm,
obviously relationship stuff. I want to be happier in my life. I want to feel more alive and just in
mhm,
present in my life. And the common themes usually come back to some script that they're running.
mm,
Talked to someone the other day. She had a terrible experience with a guy she was dating. She's crying. And I said, no offense, your narrative, this narrative you're running in your brain over and over,
mm,
you actually can rewrite that if you want to. And so I
mm,
love that chapter, Your Brain is Your Bitch, because I was like, yes, that is exact
yeah.
that. Because, and I actually, when I was about 19, 20 years old, I went away to college. It was really hard for me. It was my first time away from home, like for
Mm,
real, for real.
mhm,
um I was just lonely and lost, and you like have freedom but you don't. And again, my value is
right.
freedom, and I didn't like college. A lot of people love college. I did not like college because to me you're
Mm,
still in this weird, like, I'm an adult but I'm not. I don't actually make money, but I have a little bit of money on this weird cafeteria account that I have. Like, I don't know, I didn't like college.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I didn't do well in college. I mean, grades wise, yes, and I had a few friends and all that. But I'm just saying, I couldn't wait to just be an adult and be on my own. And
Mm,
during that time, I went through a lot of depression, and my eating disorder was kind of at a peak. It was pretty bad.
mm,
But anyway, one of the books that helped me was Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And it was another
mm,
version of the Your Brain is Your Bitch, because it was like,
mhm,
what are you saying to yourself every day over and over again? What is that script? And it
yeah.
was like, well, I have the power to change that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
I
have to
call
say all
her.
these mean things to
Yeah.
myself every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
I call her my spiritual grandmother, and Bob
Oh
Proctor my
yeah.
spiritual granddad, and like Dr. Wayne Dyer is
Yeah.
uncle.
I love
And
that.
I mean, she's still living, but Gabrielle Bernstein's like spiritual cousin.
Hey, what about
Like
Tony Robbins? Is he like your big uncle
Johnny
that like
Rob.
puts you on his back?
Man, he's a whole nother layer. He's a whole nother entity. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pivot a little bit
Yeah.
to it feels like a no-brainer and just level set. So Tutum Talk is a focus on leadership, right? Exploring leadership in the everyday and beyond. And it feels like such a rhetorical question, and I'm gonna ask it anyway. Being a confidence coach, what elements? Hmm. So the rhetorical is why is confidence important in leadership? And I'm gonna scratch that one and frame it more as for leaders, because those are my favorite folks to work with in private coaching, are
Mhm.
leaders who are cool as a cucumber on the outside, like look like they have it all together, and on the inside they're still wondering, like, why pick me? Because I resonate so much with it. Like when I was tapped for leadership roles, and like I executed it flawlessly, of course. Well, not of course, but like I did my
Yeah.
best, and it turned out really, really well each time. And that narrative, that internal narrative, like, are they sure they got the right one here? Right.
Right.
So for folks who that resonates for, um, what are some, I don't tips, tricks?
Things to keep in mind.
Yeah, like incremental improvements. Like you don't have to completely turn things around, because that would probably feel potentially really overwhelming. But for folks who are tuning in, and I'm going to throw it out there. I know your focus is women. I'm going to throw that out there for anyone listening in where you're feeling a little shaky. So
Mm.
no matter your gender identity, like
Yeah.
as a human being, if you're feeling a little shaky, That's okay. It's the human experience. So, confidence coach, what do you say, especially for our friends in leadership roles or people manager roles who are like, I gotta keep it together. What are some tips and things to keep in mind? Yeah, and practices beyond going to the confidence club, which we will talk about next. Yes.
A couple things come to mind when you're talking. One of the first things, like for me, confidence is about embodiment, and I believe, like physics, even though that was literally my worst subject in high school. Oh my god, I don't
Sure.
even know if I made it through that. I did, but barely.
Yeah.
The thing I take away though is a body in motion stays in motion. And I think about that all the time. So for me, working out, it is literally something I do every single day, even if it's a 10-minute walk or a 15-minute yoga flow. I always move my body because the body in motion stays in motion. And so for me,
Mm.
people be like, wow, you're really fit. What do you do? And I was like, well, I walk and do yoga. I go to the weight room a few times a month, and they're like, a month? And I'm like, you do realize I've been doing this since I was 16 years old and I'm 45. So there's a bit,
Right.
like I've been doing the motion for so long now that I'm not going up and down. I have this like steady flow. It's just part of my life. And so now
Right.
it's just
Right.
part of who I am, and a maintenance plan almost. Like,
Mm.
anyway, so to me, the same goes with confidence. And if you need a quick, like, whoo, I got to get confident. To me, my friend, she her name is Manel. She owns a company called Ingli Global out of Morocco. And there's
Mm.
these wonderful, phenomenal female leaders who are CEOs and business owners, and they're doing these presentations. And when it comes to doing them in English rather than French, they get a little shaky.
Sure.
And so I'm the confidence coach in her group, Ingli Global, and we talk about embodiment and like physical embodiment. So body in motion stays in motion. And many of them have said before a presentation, they go in the mirror after they've worked with me and they do their Wonder Woman pose. Or I said, pick any, like, I don't care what female inspiration. For me, it was Wonder Woman. It could be She-Ra. It could be, I don't know. Do you have some kind of like anime character? I don't know. You choose you.
Yeah, Care Bear stare. Like, yes.
I don't care what it is, whatever makes you feel powerful when you embody that. And so for me, a leader that's feeling a little shaky and is about to do a presentation or going to go for an interview for a promotion or whatever it is, you're like, whew, I am feeling all kinds of, go in the mirror and embody that confidence. I don't know what kind of power pose you need to get into, but Amy Cuddy's work is literally proven that something about embodying that and getting into that physical position makes you feel confident. Now, do you walk into the interview in the Wonder Woman pose? No. And you do it prior to, and it's just, and you can even see that when people are walking down the street, people with their head up, shoulders back. Well, that was another thing. One of my favorite students, bless her. I mean, she didn't miss one workshop I ever did when I was a pole dance instructor, lap dance, exotic. This woman, every workshop, Santa baby workshop in the Christmas time. She was always in my classes. She said, Morgan, after all these years, still to this day, and I stopped teaching 2013. So it was a long time ago. She said, to this day, what I still remember is head up, shoulders back, chest out, and then we would walk. And it was just like, you just change your posture. So again, a body in motion, it stays in motion. So to me, those are like quick fixes for someone who wants to feel really confident, like in the moment. They're having a little bit of a meltdown. They're spiraling. Change your body and your mind will follow. The other thing I was thinking,
mic drop. Can you say that one more time? Do it. Yes.
I said, change your body, your mind will follow.
Felt a little en vogue there for a second. Yes. Okay. And keep going.
The other thing I was thinking was confidence is also being able to recognize, I was going to say admit, but that's not necessarily where I'm looking for, but I would say be able to be friends with your vulnerability. I think some people that are leaders, they're like, I got to be tough. I gotta be the leader. I gotta be, show no vulnerability. And don't get me wrong. There's a time, like for instance, when I'm going through something, like I had a moment the other day where I was feeling insecure about something. And I was like, I want to talk about this with my clients, and I can't talk about it until I've moved through it. Because your clients aren't there. They're not your therapist. Like, you don't bring them your problems. Now, can you talk about something you went through? I do anyway. I talk about things that I've went through to help them feel normal, safe,
Right. To
seen. Like, so
model
many of my
it.
clients are like,
Right.
thank you so much for saying that. I never told my therapist that because I didn't want them to judge me, or I thought she would be mad at me, or, and because they're like, a lot of times, this is my experience as a therapist, I have to sit back and I'm taking notes and I'm asking questions, and I'm not necessarily having a dialogue with them. The nice thing about coaching for me is that I get to be in there with them. So I can say, when she tells me something she's really ashamed about or feeling a lot of shame around, I could say, hey, I hear you. And guess what? This is how I did this thing. And they're like, oh, you did? And now they don't feel alone. They don't feel stupid. They don't feel judged. They don't feel like they did something wrong. It was like, oh, Morgan did that too. She survived. So
Yep.
anyway, I say that to say, when you're a leader and you're going through something, you're feeling really vulnerable at something, have the person that you can talk to, a mentor, a coach. That's where you bring that to. You're not going to bring it to your people under you or that you're leading, because they don't want to know when you're feeling vulnerable and you think you're going to throw up or you're feeling imposter syndrome or whatever. You take that to your coach, to your mentor, yes.
Right.
And you're able to say, hey, everybody, to the folks that are, you're leading, this was really difficult for me. Like, once you've made it through, to be able to apologize, to admit that it was difficult. Because I think sometimes you act like you're this invincible Iron Man, and it's like, no, like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay. And that was another lesson learned when I was in therapy school. I went through my 3 years, and then I had was it 3 years? Yeah. And then you had the full year of an internship, and you had to present your paper in front of everybody and whatever. Right. And the professor that was evaluating me basically was like, Morgan, you're going to be a great therapist. Like, and he said, I encourage you to be more vulnerable. You walk around like a tough girl and nothing ever bothers you, and you're like this badass bitch. And he goes, but you have a very soft underbelly. I know you're all squishy under there. And he goes, let people see that, because if you want people to be vulnerable with you, you need to be vulnerable. And I was like, because I was always like, don't let them see you cry. Don't let them see you cry. Like tough girl. And after that, I mean, I didn't care if I was at the Kowalski's grocery store over in Uptown and dude was like, how's your day going? I'm like, Kevin, it's been a really hard day, actually. I'm struggling today. And he's like, my God, I'm sorry to hear that. And I said, look, you don't have to fix it, Cara. You don't have to fix it. Exactly. I'm just letting you know. I'm being honest, I'm being vulnerable, and I'm telling you, I'm feeling kind of fucked up today. I'm having a hard time. I hear that. So I think for leaders, it's okay to say you're having a hard time, or like, hey, this was a really tough decision, and I know this sucks. And here's what we're going to do now. What are you all feeling? Like, to be able to be a human with your people, to me, shows way more strength. And I've learned now that vulnerability is a strength, because it unites people. It makes people feel safe. It makes them feel like they can work together now for something instead of being separate. I don't know. So I would say those two things are things that came to mind.
Absolutely. And I love that you shared that experience with your professor who's like, I'm going to check you real quick. And so I love your podcast. And that is by far one of my favorite episodes. And I thought it very poetic when I was listening. I was like, look at that. It was my birthday's December 15th. And it was December 15th. I want to say like last year or the year before, where you recorded that very story and shared with your audience. Like, hey, I was like, oh, look at how that goes. Yeah, because I just so appreciate how much you modeled. Look, this right here wasn't always this. This is a journey, and it's okay wherever you are on yours. I'm here for you. So, yeah. And I love the reinforcement. I've had similar client conversations, leaders, where it's a team workshop, but the senior leader comes back at lunch earlier before the team. Is just me and the senior leader, and they're just working at their laptop. Like, I'm sure they were doing some work, but like working at their laptop and just really quietly whispering, I'm sorry, I'm just not myself today. And me offering up like, that's okay. Like, you're not a robot. You're a human. And hearing the waterworks, like hearing the sniffles, I was like, oh, friend. Like, oh, if we knew each other better, I would hug you, but we don't have that relationship. But yeah, like, we're all just carrying so much that every single one of us has something heavy going on. The more I hear that statement, 100% that every single one of us human beings is navigating something tough. So and that also connects us in our humanity, like the really beautiful stuff and the tough stuff. We're all of it. So another Jensen Cheryl offer that she's like as humans we're all awesome and we're all assholes. Like we're all of it. So all right, my friend. So I am going to ask you my 3 new favorite questions.
Okay.
These came from Mike Krushka, former guest on Tutum Talk, and he shared them on the episode. I was like, oh, so that's why I feel the need to give him credit each time. Like, man, these are good questions, like evergreen. Okay, and then we'll get into confidence code. Club, not code, club, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yep.
First question.
Yeah.
What are you passionate?
A lot of things. The first thing that came to mind, of course, was helping women be more confident. And then the second thing was house music. I love house music. I am not a religious person. I always tell people the sun is my God and house music is my religion. I love being in the sun and I love house music. It gives me goosebumps. It makes me like giddy. But I'm a very passionate person in general, so that I'm very easily excited about many things. I'm like my dad. When my dad gets excited, he rubs his hands together. I'm more of a clapper. I'm like, yeah, I would say I really am. If you get me talking about, like I said, women's health, and especially like them speaking up for themselves in relationships and in their life, instead of being like, well, I don't know, that would be the first, but then house music.
Any favorite house music artists that you would like to give a shout out to?
No, and the funny thing is, sometimes I don't even know who they are. I just like a song, and I'm like, oh my God, this song! And my mom and dad gifted me these amazing Klipsch speakers when I moved into this apartment, and I'm talking sound quality that is off the chain. And so I don't bother my neighbors too often. And 2 days ago, I found this like Afrobeat house song on Spotify, and it was a 10-minute track. I turned those speakers up so loud, and I just let it envelope me in the love. And I was like, well, I got goosebumps. I was like, this is so amazing. So, no, I don't
Talk about embodiment. Hey, there you go.
Well, and I went to Paris recently because David Guetta was there. Now, granted, the Parisians say it how you're supposed to say it. I didn't realize this. He's from France. I'm like, no wonder he was speaking in French the whole time. I was like, wow, this guy's really good at French. Well, he's from France. And this show was unreal. And I was by myself, and I'm kind of small. So when I came in, I beelined it, and I almost got to the front. People were like, there were 80,000 people there. And I managed to get almost to the front. And it was just, whoa, it was wonderful. So I'm a big house music person.
Say the least. I love it. I love it. All right, my friend. Second question, what are you looking forward to?
I am very much looking forward to building my business, to be honest. I have a business coach that I'm working with one-on-one. I'm definitely a one-on-one person, whether I'm working with someone or I'm hiring someone. I have loved the masterminds I've been in. I'm in one currently. You and I met in one. So the friendships that I've made in the virtual masterminds, and sometimes we've been able to get together in person, which is awesome. One-on-one is my jam. I need someone to be like, Morgan, do this, not that. Say this, not that. Try this. Talk to this person. And it's, I love that. And so for me, going from dreaming about owning my own business back in 2013, when I first bought morganbarkus.com, and I was like, how come I don't have any clients? I mean, I have a website. Is this a field of dreams over here? Like, what? And then finally now, within the last year, hiring appropriate help, just like anybody else. You want help with your fitness? Get a coach. You want help with your confidence? Get a coach. You want help with your leadership? Get a coach. You want help with your business? Get a coach. And so for me, it's been really fun to build my business. I'm really looking forward to watching that grow and watching the dominoes fall, because I feel like our life is a series of things that we've already done that are going to like push off the next thing. And you just don't know, but keep going forward. And so thinking that I bought my website, morganbarkus.com in 2013, knowing I'd be here and having paying clients and actually getting testimonials from women that are like, oh my God, I wouldn't have been able to do this a week ago if it wasn't for us working together. And it's like, this is my life's purpose and I love it so much, so I'm really looking forward to growing my coaching business.
Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. And wait, hold the phone on that one, because that's going to be one of those follow-up questions on how can people find you. But before we get to that, what is worth doing?
Love. I can't, that's the first thing I thought of. I think a lot of people hold themselves back. They worry about getting hurt. I go head first into everything. And I mean, even like when I moved, my favorite place I've ever lived so far in my life has been Miami, Florida area. I love 95 and humid. It's my favorite thing in the world. I know a lot of people hate it. I love it.
Come down to Carolina. Oh my goodness. Yes, we have it for you, right?
The ocean breeze, though. I need that ocean breeze. Like that Miami.
Touche.
The inland heat, I don't love as much. But the Miami, the breeze, oh my God, the water, everything. I love it there. And I left. And people were like, why are you leaving? And I went to Kentucky, of all places, and small town Kentucky on top of that. And my dad was like, well, I hope you like it here. He goes, what if you hate it? I said, well, then I'll move again. And I was chasing the job opportunity, because that's me. I'm like, I'm going to go. I'm not going to worry about what if. I'm just going to go. And I feel the same way about love. I mean, a lot of times, even recently, met someone and what if you get hurt? And because I've never been hurt before. Do you know how many times my heart's been broken? I'm 45 years old. I'm single this entire time. I've had a lot of heartbreak. I'm still going to dive 100% in head first, because I just think it's worth going for. I don't hold back in anything in my life. I'm like balls to the wall with everything. And I actually have
It's like you are? Shocking. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I went for a consultation recently. I have a herniated belly button, and I've had it for 6 years. And a PCP was like, "That's fine, don't worry about it." And I was like, I've worked with general surgeons in my med device job, sales job, where people have surgery for herniated belly buttons. I'm pretty sure this is something that should be fixed. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go to a specialist and find out. He's like, definitely. It's minor, but I can stitch it up in 4 sutures and it'll be done. And I was like, great. And but I say that because somebody said, well, a friend of mine was like, how did you get it? And because it's usually other reasons, you had kids, and I was like, to be honest, I think it's because I worked out so hard. I used to I worked for a major fitness franchise back in the day, and we used to compete with each other, some of us fitness coaches, and I would go so hard to try to beat, especially the boys. Oh my God. So I'm like, I'm sure I did it somewhere in my working out history that I might have popped through the old belly button.
Yeah. It happens.
Anyway, say love, because out of everything, yes, you can be crushed and it can hurt you. I have a phoenix tattooed on my back. You will rise again, brighter and stronger than you were before. Everything is a learning lesson. Go for it.
And the world is so much more aglow as you continue to shine your light, and I'm so thankful that you do. With that in mind, how can listeners find you? Tell us more about the Confidence Club, whatever you want to share with listeners.
Yeah.
Clearly, friends, Morgan's go hang with Morgan. I know I'll be going to the Confidence Club. But share with listeners whatever you feel like sharing. I go for it.
Yep. I mentioned morganbarkus.com. That's the best place to find me. I feel like my website is pretty easy to navigate. It's here's my podcast. Here's how to schedule a call with me. It's really straightforward. So that's usually the best place to find me. You can find my Instagram on there, whatever. So just morganbarkus.com is the easiest. The Confidence Club, you can also find on there the link to get the calendar invite for that. It's really for women to just get together. It's brunch without cocktails, depending on your time zone. If you want to drink, cool. I have women from Morocco joining, Puerto Rico, my friend in Denmark, she's in Copenhagen. I've got people in Chicago. For me, it is I miss getting people together. So women, when I talk group fitness, I did obviously weekly classes several times a week. Loved that. I'm really energized getting women together for a common purpose and just to have fun. And physically, and it's not in my life right now. I stopped teaching officially back in 2013 when I left Minnesota. I've done workshops since. I still do one-off exotic dance workshops occasionally. I have one coming up in Chicago in August. I love to get women together, and I thought, how can I do that? And not necessarily a book club. Maybe we talk about a book and just anything. What if we just talk about anything? And so there have been various topics. I'll bring it up. Like the other day, I was having a moment myself, and I thought I had to get in the mirror and do my Wonder Woman pose and kind of go through my positive affirmations, cry it out. And I was like, whew, okay, I'm back. And so I brought that to Confidence Club, and I thought, this is what I went through this morning. What do you do when you're feeling insecure about something or something that's in your life that triggers some insecurity in you? How do you get out of it, like move through it? And so we had that conversation, and we talked about sliding door moments on one of the calls. To me, it's like being at brunch and chatting with, like, what's going on with you? Tell me, well, this is what I just did. How would you have handled it? And so for me, it's about getting women together to have really authentic conversations, no judgment. Some women are in their car, some women are in a top knot, some are on their lunch break. It's just been really fun to get women together and just talk about all things confidence. So anyway, you can go to morganbarkus.com and find the Confidence Club, find the calendar invite, and you can drop in anytime. It's like every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So come if you can, come for half the time. Come once. I mean, it's really fun.
And listeners will, of course, have all that information in the show notes. So if you're driving, no need to stop. It'll be all there for you. No worries. Be safe out there. Oh my goodness, Morgan, such a joy to have you here at Tutum Talk. Any parting words as we bid adieu?
I will say this. My motto, I always say, if you don't try, you don't know. So just go for it in your life. Just try it. You can always pivot.
I love it. I love it. Words of wisdom, my friends. Words of wisdom. All right, my friend. Well, thank you again for being on Tutum Talk, and I look forward to seeing you at the next, okay?
Thank you.
All right.